Hey everyone, it's Ira Warren Whiteside here. Well, sort of. You're hearing me through this AI voice, since recovering my natural voice is taking a little while longer. But every word you hear is mine. I wrote all this myself, even if the voice is being borrowed. So yeah, let's get into today's story, which, honestly, is my own case study in statistics. How numbers can track an entire life changing. Back in 2019, I was tipping the scales at 300 pounds. I gotta admit, I didn't even realize how much I'd let things go. It wasn't some grand plan that kicked it off. My wife passed away, and that shook everything up. I moved in with my daughter Victoria, she and my son-in-law. Honestly, my whole family, they really helped pull me through. I can't thank them enough. Anyway, by 2020, I looked back and realized I'd lost about 80 pounds. Did I even understand I'd done it while it was happening? Not really. It's kind of weird how gradual change tricks your brain. Here's what's interesting statistically. Going slow, taking 4 years instead of crash dieting, actually made all the difference for my metabolism and lab results. I mean, we always hear about quick fix diets ruining your metabolism, but my numbers, my real data, cholesterol, blood pressure, blood sugar, they just steadily improved over those years. Losing weight slowly, around 40% of my original body weight, created less havoc on my system, and every marker went in the right direction. There's this one little thing, and maybe it's mundane, but tracking pills. I started out with this giant pile every day. Diabetes meds, blood pressure, insulin, all sorts of things. Like, it was a little shocking dumping that weekly pill organizer and realizing how controlled my life was by prescriptions. Now, today, I only take one, and even that feels like it's on the way out. You know what that means? Statistically speaking, I'm not classified as diabetic anymore, and my metabolic health is, well, honestly, pretty good. And that's not something I'm making up. The numbers have trended there consistently. So yeah, the pills are almost gone, but the numbers, those are what really matter. But, nothing's a straight line. Real life never is, so as things started looking up, next came the setbacks. Data, again, played a big part in figuring out what was really going wrong. I had this pretty wild stretch. Hospital visits, scans, tests, the whole works. At first I'm told, looks like you had a stroke. But yeah, that was just the first guess. The actual data, lab values, nerve studies, follow-up MRIs showed, nope, it wasn't a classic stroke. It turned out to be something more subtle. Polyneuropathy from losing so much weight, apparently. The stats came in handy for tracking all this. You look at your own timeline and see when stuff goes wrong. It started with mobility, the left foot dropping, stumbling when walking, then my left arm, and finally, my vocal cords. I'll be honest, that last one hit hard. That's where the data started crossing with the rest of my life. My body weight was dropping, but some systems struggled to keep up. So you learn about nerve damage. Apparently nerves regrow about 1 millimeter a day. That's surprisingly slow for something as critical as, moving your leg or speaking clearly. But I mean, when you look at it on a calendar, track improvement or not, you have to set the right expectations. Every little gain is a big deal, but it's kind of an ongoing process. Sometimes you think, where was I going with this? Oh, right. Even now, in the first year of actual recovery, I lean on that data. If I start walking better or my grip gets a little tighter, that's the stats telling me I'm on the right path, not just wishful thinking. You see, or really I guess I should say you hear, this AI voice thing isn't just a gimmick. When your vocal cords stop cooperating, hearing your words, your tone, but through a machine version of yourself, that can mess with your head a little. But it also keeps you connected, lets you get your story across. In a way, the AI voice is a tool, almost like a ramp, letting me get back into conversations while my body catches up. I've been digging into the nutrition data too. You know, there's a ton of complicated advice out there, but the stats and my experience say the simple stuff works. Cut out seed and vegetable oils, skip most of the sugars, and yeah, just eat like your grandparents did. In moderation, real food, don't overthink it. I mean, every marker I tracked, cholesterol, A1C, inflammation, improved when I just stopped listening to every fad and trusted those basics. That's not medical advice, of course, but the evidence from my own journey is tough to argue with. Here's where my philosophy gets personal. Every time a doc wants to add a new med, I've gotten a little stubborn about refusing it unless the numbers truly back it up. I'd rather pursue movement, exercise, and, like I said, persistence. If there's a trend in my blood work, I want to see it before changing course. Data lets me know if I'm guessing or if I'm actually better. So far, minimizing medication and staying accountable to the analytics has worked for me. I guess wrapping up, I'm still in the middle of recovery, but using numbers and some good old-fashioned skepticism got me further than I expected. We've talked in earlier episodes about how data tells real stories underneath all the noise. Well, this one just happens to be mine. So thanks for listening and lending me your ears. My voice, AI or not, will be back again soon.